Well, unang-una, no, klaruhin natin ano ba yung purpose ng arbitration case, no? The arbitration case, the purpose of that is to seek clarification on the maritime entitlements as provided by UNCLOS, no? We are asking the court to affirm that coastal states are entitled to such maritime entitlements like the 12 nautical miles territorial sea, 24 nautical miles contiguous zone, 200 nautical miles EEZ, and 200 nautical miles continental shelf. And we are also asking the court to determine the nature and character of each of the features, and also to determine what maritime entitlements do they have, if any. So that, in essence, is our arbitration case.
Okay, sir. Sir, may plano po ba tayong mag-file ng diplomatic protest sa Beijing over this last incident yung water cannon firing sa Scarborough Shoal?
We're still waiting for the official report, no, from the concerned Philippine government agency, and once we get that, we'll determine the appropriate course of action to take.
For now, sir, wala pa po tayong ina-expect. Wala na tayong plano ng course of action.
Because we have not received the official report.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir, anyway, meron po ba plano or is the Philippine government open to back-channel talks with the
Right now, we are pursuing both two tracks, no? We have the diplomatic track, wherein the Philippines is working closely with ASEAN for the full and effective implementation of the DOC and for the early conclusion of the legally binding code of conduct. And we also have the legal track, and that is the arbitration case that we filed against China before the Arbitral Tribunal of UNCLOS.
Okay, sir. Ano po ba yung what results do we expect to see? Should we win this case? Should the Philippines win the arbitral case?
Well, first of all, we are after the peaceful settlement, peaceful resolution of these maritime disputes in the South China Sea. And secondly, we are after the primacy of the rule of law in this issue. Oh, kasi we have this arbitration case.
Marami ng diplomatic protest, sir, di ba, na naipara tayo na naman sa Philippines. Ilan na po ba ito? And dati, sir, inimbitahan dito sa DFA ang ambassador ng China, dito, sir. Was that done this time, sir?
Para dito sa latest incident?
Incident sa Scarborough Shoal and yung reclamation of Philippines.
Well, in reclamation, no, for each of these features na lalaman natin, no, we have already filed the corresponding diplomatic protest. Dun nga itong latest incident sa Scarborough Shoal, like I said earlier, we're still awaiting the official report.
Pero sir, hindi pa po i-invite dito yung ambassador. Because that can be done by the secretary, sir.
Kasi nga wala pang official report, so we still have to verify, no, yung nangyari.
So
Incident.
diplomatic protest since yung sa Scarborough Shoal
Hindi ko alam eh. We are not keeping count.
So yung release ng AFP ng latest features, covered na ba yun ng the previous diplomatic? So, because of this release, magpa-file na tayo ng
Ito lang naman eh, pinapakita yung progress eh, no, nung ginagawang reclamation. But since the beginning, no, since we first learned of this reclamation work for each feature, we already filed the
so there's no
protest.
need to file.
At this time, no, but we will see, no, we're not ruling out anything.
Aside from the two tracks that you mentioned, we considered going through back channeling because I heard some experts telling us that why not explore back channeling also altogether with all those two tracks to exhaust all possible means.
Well, kasi nga meron tayong ongoing arbitration case eh. Now, we don't want to jeopardize yung case na yun by by holding diplomatic bilateral talks, no.
Will the ASEAN route affect this case in the arbitration?
Hindi naman.
Because it's also a diplomatic track, right?
Yes, which we are also pursuing, no, by calling for the full and effective implementation of the DOC and early conclusion of the legally binding code of conduct.
Yeah, I'm asking that because I heard Honglei also mention that they're very much against Philippines going through the ASEAN forum, using the ASEAN forum for this issue.
Well, we should keep in mind, no, because of this reclamation work, what is being violated is the 2002 agreement between ASEAN and China, the DOC.
Sir, will we push for TAP during the upcoming ASEAN political action?
Well, of course, like already discussed yesterday by my colleague, no, in Malacanang, South China Sea issue will definitely be a priority agenda for the Philippines.
But TAP in particular, will it be
Well, now we're pushing for the legal track and the diplomatic track.
Sir, how would you, sorry?
While we push for the legal and the diplomatic track, are there specific instructions to the AFP and the Coast Guard to avoid patrolling the area, to avert any incidents of confrontation between our Coast Guard or our military and their people?
The last policy guidance we gave to the AFP was that, according to the 2002 DOC, repairs and maintenance of existing facilities in previously occupied features is not a violation.
But as to the extent that we will escort our fishermen para hindi na po mangyari kung nakaraan, may ganun po ba tayo paano potentially?
Well, hindi covered ng DFA, no, yung mga ganong operational details.
Sir, so given na basically napapaalis po, Chinese Coast Guard, the Chinese Coast Guard drives away Filipino fishermen from these waters that are usually among the Philippines' normal fishing grounds, diba? Sir, so meron po ba tayong course of action para makapangisda naman yung mga mangingisda dun sa mga lugar na ito, sir?
Well, siguro something that could be discussed, no, with other concerned government agencies with regard to the operational details of this issue.
Sir, and then how would you answer comments from netizens to public to media to critics na nagsasabi na parang hindi satisfactory or basically they're not satisfied with the government's current action, at least yung nakikita ng publiko action when it comes to fighting for the country's sovereignty over the West Philippines. Hindi sila satisfied, sir, or nasasabi pa na the government is not doing enough. How would you answer that?
Well, if they have other suggestions, no, on what the government should do, then maybe we should hear them.
Sir, just a follow-up on ASEAN. We will talk about China again in the ASEAN summit. What will make our statement stand out this time? What's new?
Well, I think the most important thing that we'll be raising is that 1 year ago we already raised the alarm, no, on the reclamation work being done by China when it was only at the initial stage, and we were already calling for attention, for a common voice on this issue. And 1 year later, we already seen how the reclamation work has progressed.
So what does it say about how China is dealing with ASEAN and the Philippines?
I think it has more to do with ASEAN centrality. No? So I think
Sir, is ASEAN a numbers game? Because I heard that the Indonesian president has expressed his concern about Philippines asking the U.S. for more assistance, aggressive assistance in South China Sea. I mean, the trip of Secretary Belisario is in towards asking the U.S. for help. And Widodo apparently is not amenable to that. What will make the ASEAN now when a major country like Indonesia is much against our effort to seek U.S. help?
well, we have taken note of the Indonesian president's statement, and actually we are also in agreement with that in the sense that we are also for the rule of law, and we are also for the peaceful settlement of disputes. But having said that, we also recognize that the U.S. and other countries have their interest, no, in the peace and stability in the region, and they can express their ideas on how we should approach this issue.
Sir, on ASEAN centrality, just to laymanise this concept, so you said it has something to do with ASEAN centrality. So what does it mean?
Well, I think ASEAN should be able to speak with one voice, no.
Sir, from 1 year na yan, that the DFA raised yung alarm on China's regulation versus South China Sea and internationalizing the issue. Is this DFA satisfied that we were able to get that support for that issue in 1 year period? Have we mustered enough support for it?
Yes, I think no, we were able to generate international attention on this very very important issue. Firstly, with the aggressive unilateral actions being undertaken by China, and more recently by the reclamation work that they're doing, many countries and regions have already given their statements. Most recently by the Group of Seven of industrialized countries, even before that by U.S. President Barack Obama. They've all expressed concern with the reclamation work that China is doing. So I think we are able to focus world attention on this issue.
Kulang na lang sa ASEAN. I mean, ASEAN has to also show if ever you support.
Well, during the last even during the last summit, I think there was a chairman's statement expressing concern, no, on the developments in the South China Sea, and during the last foreign ministers retreat, there was also a statement to that effect.
Pero ASEAN could do more, sir.
Well, yes.
So yung one voice nila parang for them beyond yung issue na statement, sir. O parang you want to track with, parang sa Vietnam is playing on there, you do,
Mhm.
sa mga claimants. Pero as a group, what do you expect ASEAN?
Well, in ASEAN we can only do diplomacy, no? And I think the statements issued before have been very helpful in calling attention to the developments in the South China Sea.
Would the reclamation should it require another case, or I know before you said that's already been included in the present article case, but do we need a separate one to have a stronger case against China?
To file another case, I don't think we will be doing that. So what we already filed is already, I think, enough just to seek clarification on maritime entitlements and determination of the character and nature of the features.
Sir, yun lang po yung hiningi from the case.
Yes.
To determine what the facility is.
To determine, no, kung ano yung whether each of these features, no, sasabihin ba, is it an island, is it a rock, is it an LTE, or totally submerged feature, and what maritime entitlements do they generate, if any.
So sir, basically po, just belongs to whom?
No.
No. Okay, ano pong gagawin?
Yun nga, in-explain ko na, no?
Okay. Identify the features and what entitlements the Philippines has on those issues. On those features.
Walang pinag-uusapan who owns what dito sa arbitration case, no?
So, sir, okay, sorry, pardon my ignorance. So, ibig sabihin, what the result of the arbitration case, the arbitral tribunal's decision would be to, it will not really say if those areas we're claiming in the West Philippine Sea rightfully belong to the Philippines as exclusive economic zone or not.
Walang ganon. We're just seeking clarification on the maritime entitlements.
Sir, define maritime entitlement.
Yun nga, is it entitled to generate territorial sea? Is it entitled to generate EEZ? That's what I mean by maritime entitlements.
Sir, nung po sa 2002 agreement po between China and ASEAN na sinabi niyo po kanina, may nakalagay po ba ng mga violations if ever na hindi matupad yung mga agreements po na nakalagay doon? Like po itong ginagawa ngayon na parang violate ng China yung status quo dun sa mga lugar na dun sa mga disputed islands na hindi pa napag-desisyon.
Well, yung DOC basically it's like a code of conduct na rin, no? Pero it's a non-binding agreement. So it was only called a declaration. Pero nakasaad doon, no, yung sa mga provisions noon kung ano yung mga ina-undertake ng claimant countries, no, on what they should do or should not do. And isa nga dito yung they should exercise self-restraint and not do anything that would further complicate the situation. So, and not occupy previously unoccupied features. So these are some of the provisions that both sides undertook.
So clearly sir, parang wala rin yung kamay, parang wala rin ngipin kumbaga if ever na merong mag-violate doon sa mga napag-usapan, kumbaga yung gumawa ng hindi niya dapat wala siya talaga.
Well, yun ang lumalabas, no? Kasi nga it's non-binding. But then it's a both countries, no, entered into that agreement. Both sides, no, ASEAN and China, voluntarily entered into that agreement in good faith.
How about yung court, sir, meron bang power yun to give sanctions? Halimbawa sa China, kung mapatunayan, makita nila na-clarify na nag-violate sila dun sa agreement na yun and other maritime rules.
Yung arbitral tribunal, ay wala siguro sa ano nila yun, sa kumbaga that's not part of what we're asking.
Just
Clarification.
So sir, ano pwede maging implications nun? Kung clarification lang yung magiging resulta niya.
Yun ang pinakamalaking clarification, no? Pagka sinabi you can only project maritime entitlements from your mainland, no? So, in effect, that means walang basis yung 9-dash line claim ng China, no? So that would invalidate yung 9-dash line claim. That is the biggest objective.
So sir, ibig sabihin, kung ganun ang magiging kinalabasan, magkakaroon tayo ng power para paalisin yung mga Chinese Coast Guard or even yung mga reclamation activities na pwede na natin alisin, yung mga lalagpas ng sa 9-dash line.
At least hindi pwede sabihin ng China meron silang indisputable sovereignty, no?
Since you said, sir, that it's a violation of the 2010 agreement between ASEAN and China, will we be seeking for a statement from ASEAN saying that this is a clear violation of China's part?
Well, essentially, no, yun na rin ang by calling for a full and effective implementation, no, of the DOC.
Sir, are we hoping that China would stop building?
We are calling on China to stop building, to stop the reclamation work.
Okay, and then the means by which we aim to get there is to rally support from our allies and our neighbors.
From the international community, no?
Yes, basically to kind of exert moral pressure on China to halt.
Yes.
China seems to be not heeding all these expressions of support. What can we get more aside from these expressions of support?
Kaya nga, no, I think it's very important, no, once we get that decision and we are able to invalidate yung 9-9 claim, that will put a lot of pressure on China.
China has already said that it will not abide with any decision.
Yeah. Pero that will have a cost, and we think that China would like to be seen as a responsible member of the international community. So I think it's also to their interest to abide by the decision.
This may come as after the fact. I mean, after all these reclamations have been constructed. So it's all after the fact.
So we will see. No, it's not the end.
Sir, will we call for a moratorium on provocative activities again during the Asian Summer?
Well, that one we're not exactly using that terminology anymore, no? But essentially, of course, we would like to see China stop the reclamation work that they're doing.
See, Indonesia tomorrow. Is this will have been yet the person is in the Indonesian president? Kasi said, speak plans to in case
The situation is still fluid, no? We're still finalizing the itinerary of the Vice President. So at this time, no, we cannot.
So you're working
Yes.
with President.
We're looking at his schedule, no, and we're trying to see what we can do given the time that he has.
Sir, pero nag-release statement si President Widodo na dapat daw irespeto ng iba kung conflicts yung death penalty nila. Does it mean, sir, parang medyo humihina ba yung case natin na nakita natin na medyo malirespe ang Indonesia to implement their death penalty?
Well, yung mga initiatives natin naman, no, like yung request for judicial review, yung request for clemency, these are all in accordance with what is allowed, no, under the Indonesian judicial and legal processes, and we are not interfering, no, with their judicial system.
So far, meron na po ba tayong date kung kailan natin malalaman what is the final verdict on the lawsuit?
Well, we have yet to file, no, in second appeal.
Okay. Pero right now, there's no date yet. Well, hindi naman nila ina-announce kung may date ng execution. But right now, we can rest assured na they are not going to execute her yet. Because before, my question, what I mean is, baka before we file the second appeal, ma-execute na siya. Is that possible, sir?
Well, we are following, no, yung pronouncement given by the Indonesian government. They said they will not be carrying out any execution during the international conference, no, in Bandung, Asian African meeting, and that meeting will end on April 24.
Hindi natin enough time pa, sir.
And they also said that they will not carry out any execution while there are still outstanding legal processes, no.
So will the Vice President come as an official representative of the party with his personal capacity?
He's attending the Bandung conference as a government representative.
So parang side ito na dadaan sa issue na ito na rin sa lawsuit. He just to have a meeting his counterpart.
Like I said earlier, no, we are trying to arrange his itinerary depending on his time.
Sir, different circumstances Philippines saan siya na-hurt?
Dahil sa ginagawang airstrikes, no, he was hurt by kaya nga eh.
So doon siya na
Yeah.
siya nag-work, sir.
Walang detalye pa, no? Pero may nag-explode, may mga nabasag na mga windows, no? Glass. So he was injured.
Doon sa building na nag-work.
Yeah.
Sir, hindi na siya.
Wala namang sinasabi.
So hindi automatic na ma-repatriate
It's up to him. Mm.
He hasn't done that just yet.
Hindi pa. If after getting well, he decides he still wants to stay on, then that's his decision.
Pero sir, di ba naka-mandatory na yung repatriation? Hindi ba rin ibig sabihin pag nakita? Dapat umuwi ka na, whether you like it or not.
Hindi ganun.
Okay. So by mandatory repatriation, what you mean is the government will shoulder the expense of them.
In some cases, no, na hindi naman lahat ng mandatory repatriation binabayaran ng
Like if they're
pamahalaan.
able to do it themselves.
Yeah.
So basically, sir, do we take it also that you mean we are not actively seeking out Filipinos?
Oh, we are actively seeking out.
No, like kung pinupuntahan sila. and
Pinupuntahan sila.
Pinupuntahan sila. Okay, sir.
Sir, yung kay DPA, with this meeting with Indonesian President, sir,
Well, we can always try, no? In the case of Mary Jane, we are also doing two approaches, no? The legal, which is the filing of the appeal for judicial review, and the diplomatic. And the President has written for the third time, no? Asking for clemency.
Do you have any comments with Hong Kong since it was a politician who made the comments about Pinoy's leaving over?
Our Consulate General in Hong Kong has already issued a statement yesterday, and we have nothing more to add to this statement. You can check na lang yung statement.
Sir, question. Ibig sabihin, sir, syempre, we have a number of Filipinos na nakakulong in different countries around the world. Some of them may be on death row. So, we do not begin a legal process of appealing decisions concerning them without, like, a stimulus from their family, basically. Parang we do not take, the government doesn't take it upon itself to appeal or to ask for a review of the cases of these Filipinos imprisoned in other countries.
Well, lahat ng mga death penalty cases, no, talagang tinitingnan natin mabuti yan at tinitingnan natin kung ano magagawa, no, to save them. Pero itong judicial review, this is something unique, no, to the Indonesian legal system. Hindi lahat ng countries may ganitong feature.
Okay, sir. So as soon as we learn of someone na nasa death row, we look into those cases.
Yes, definitely. Any other questions?
So yung letter, yung third letter ni President, yung bago ba yun?
I think towards the end of last week, no, it was already delivered by our embassy to the Indonesian government.
Again, do we expect a response? The response dun sa first two letters, may response.
And the first one was still addressed to the previous Indonesian president, no,
So, this is the first time.
to the new president. I think so, no. Yung second request, ano ba? On the judicial review. Yeah.
The first letter.
Matagal na yun eh. October 2011 pa. Judicial. January 2015.
And then the latest was
Last week.
Pero sir, di ba na-reject na yung clemency dati ni Widodo?
Yes.
So that was through a letter also?
Yes. Addressed to the previous president. But it was not acted upon by the previous president. It was only during the time of President Widodo that
Part
he...
yung first letter of the President addressed to Widodo himself. And then,
Itong third? Yes.
yun ang pinaka-first.
I think yung judicial review, no, time ni President Widodo na, no. Yung second letter, kay President Widodo na rin.
The second was
This one is for clemency.
Clemency.
It's a judicial.
Judicial
We're
review.
expecting a response. Wala pang response.
Wala pa. Okay? Wala na ibang questions? Thank you.